What's up guys, hope everyone is doing well. In today's video I'm going to be going over a few altcoins I've already touched on, so for updates, and then two, at least I think I've already covered them, or I haven't covered them. But anyways, first one here is SHIB. I want to go over the indicators down here on the bottom first. You can see how we set a nice bottom in, getting very highly oversold on the RSI. Really all three of the indicators, also printing these nice RSI vector candles, which typically nicely line up with bottoms, really no matter what time frame you're on. If we take a look here at this MACD, you can see how we have been coiling around the 0 point, pretty much just kind of converging upon zero before some sort of resolution is made, giving us this a momentum-based indicator. It looks a lot similar, a lot like back here during 2021 before we got the parabolic move of September leading into November, which lined up with Bitcoin going from, I think, around 28, just within that ballpark, to the 69,000 that it did in November of 2021. Here for the price harmonics, we can see a five-way bullish impulse to the downside. Yeah, it doesn't look like a typical one, but the point is that it happened in 5 stages, as in starting with 0 right here along this black path. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. It also made a very nice double bottom, or at least a form of double bottom that I've seen in the markets throughout all the things that I've looked at, where it has an M, as you can clearly see in the midsection of it, and the two bottoms of the M represent the double bottom aspect of it. Again, we just see another 5-wave move right here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Doesn't look as nice as this in terms of double bottom back here, but you can still see that we are forming a W right here if this bull run does end up actually happening. With respect to more how this price harmonic has moved, we could likely see SHIB, because it seems kind of abrupt. It might erupt before most of the market did. I mean, this was very surprising of a move to see. I was even looking at this back then. I told myself to buy in when I saw it looking like this right before it did this. I didn't do it, and then I proceeded to watch it move however much it moved, and it hurt. It hurt a little bit. But I think it's likely if we do see that kind of quick move, which I think it makes sense to put it happening before this year ends. It's still, if we did do it before this year ends, it would be a longer bullish move than this one back here, which at least satisfies a category of how the price behaves over time in terms of decaying with a logarithmic structure. But I think it would make sense to come up to here with respect to this range, regards to these two previous highs. Also nicely lines up with the all-time price retracement at this 1.32, which, if you're not already familiar with it, if you were to put two retracements identically next to each other and then reverse the other one, the 382 and the 618 are essentially the same thing, same retracement. It's kind of like two sides of the same coin, their relationship. Within my how I look at Bitcoin, I think it's likely we'll see around approximately 260,000 second half of next year, perhaps bleeding into 2024, which is going to put Bitcoin at around 4 to 5 trillion. So if SHIB follows more in path with Bitcoin and it tops out around when Bitcoin is hitting those highs, it could push as high as 0.007, moving 100,000%, which is 1,000x. Again, that's if it follows the same time route as Bitcoin does. It can go up to 23,000%, assuming Bitcoin is worth enough to where SHIB can go up to that, because if SHIB surpasses the market value of Bitcoin, I think we should just all leave the space on the spot. But here, it could just, this lines up with this move right here. So it could move likely, I think most reasonably, if we get this quick jump at around 7,500%. If we go down any lower, we could come back down to this pretty solid range. We still haven't really met this range too much, which nicely lines up with a lot of this support we built up back here and price consolidating. An accumulation before this parabolic run we had, or we could come down to this support, which was what lined up with this crazy wick we saw. Also lines up with the 382 golden pocket range. Here for Trias, what we can see here is that this again is just lining up similar to Bitcoin in terms of the time routing. Bitcoin topped around 64,000 during around May, within those 3 runs as a range, and then it went down around 28,000 around July or so of 2021, then moved up towards around November towards its $69,000 high when Trias hit $27, and then we see another similar ABCD correction down to the downside as we see on Bitcoin, and then we see a double bottom right here as well. We're seeing our pink RSI vector candles along with a bullish divergence on all 3 of these, similar MACD movement as with respect to how SHIB looked, and also if you Haven't seen my video I posted yesterday. I went over a bunch of other coins as well if you would like to check that out and you're interested in my content. The Bollinger Bands are squeezing up very tightly right now. So some sort of pressures are going to be released. That's the bottom line. Whether to the upside or the downside, who knows, but I'm betting at the upside at this point. These right here are the various price targets. I've entertained it up to 1,000,000% because I think that, I forgot, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have done this unless it fit within the market value requirements, because I don't particularly think it's too crazy to see a coin like increase its market value by an astronomical amount as long as it doesn't surpass the value of Bitcoin. As long as something's not surpassing the value of Bitcoin, I don't think it matters how high it moves and how much its market value moves. But basically these are all the price targets. You can see the values here on the side: 83, 200, 400, 800, and so on, with respect to around 10,000, 25,000, 50,000%, and so on. Here for Multivac, first off, the indicators down here, we're kind of seeing the same thing. This one is about borderline exaggerated bullish divergence. Not really there, but kind of there. It's subtle. Stock RSI is kind of chilling in the neutral mid-range. It's perhaps forming a somewhat of a nice symmetrical. It's obviously not perfectly symmetrical, but it looks like it's consolidating nicely towards the neutral range, which it could then break towards the upside and hold this upper range, which, assuming we're going to go into a bull market, would be a good thing. Again, we see it pretty much the same thing here with the MACD, where Bollinger Bands are squeezing up very tightly, which means the pressure could be released sometime soon. Here we are also in this golden range right here, this yellow range with respect to these two trend lines, which both of these bottoms happened right here in the past. This was the leading into the March crash right here with respect to Bitcoin, because it's following pretty much the same time route as Bitcoin, just about. Obviously some altcoins lag and some of them jump really quickly beforehand, but for the most part the market is following a very similar time-based path. And then we see right here towards the end of 2020, leading into 2021, we finally get the major bull market begin up to around 69,000 here. Trias hit around 0.017, and then 69,000 here for Bitcoin towards October, November, when Trias hit around 0.033 cents. This is also, again, looking at a very nice symmetrical ABCD pattern, assuming we get a similar move as we did given the current structure of the entire cryptocurrency market. This puts it up to as high as 20 cents. I'm not sure if we're going to get this blow off top, given that we're about to end our current phase, so it may go up to around just towards as high as 10 cents, 9 cents. Again, second half of next year, if it reaches the higher target, it might bleed into, as you can see right here on April, just the first 3 months of 2023. Again, I just have all these entertained up to 1,000,000%, because like at the end of the day, we don't actually know what's going to happen. It might blow our minds and blow straight through the water, any of these coins. So we'll just have to see what happens there. Here for Digibyte, again, you can kind of see the same structure here. We're seeing another ABCD pattern. RSIs and whatnot, MACD's down here looking very similar. Let me put a little line here for a 0 point, get about as close as I can to it. But yeah, like I've been saying, most of these coins are going to look the same. As I said in my video yesterday, we're getting pretty much the same structure. You can see Bollinger Bands right here tightening up. We are converging, starting to see some movement here. We saw a bullish divergence right here on the MACD with respect to the price right here when Trias or Digibyte hit around 2 cents right here, and then really started to print these pink vector candles against summer. You can see that towards this bottom and towards this bottom back here in 2014 and 15, which then led into the bull runs. And the stock RSI has bottomed out. We recently got a blue band, so it's a nice positive flip to see. Hopefully we'll actually see momentum be carried up to the upside in terms of a bull run. Again, right here, this goes back to the 2018 high for Bitcoin, end of 2017, when it hit around 20,000. Then we go straight down to our March crash, and then we go straight towards May right here. This is Digibyte didn't actually see any more bullish momentum from around July or so of 2021 until November, like a lot of the market did. And this is also one of the ones that's not really moving as much as most of the market. As you can see right here, I entertained it down as low as 5,000, as high as 11,000. I didn't really entertain it going too high because it seems like it might be slowly losing momentum over time. But again, like I said, anything could happen. But these are the specific price targets that I would be looking at right now if I had my money in this coin. here for Luna Classic. Personally, I don't know if it's too much of a good idea to be messing with something like this given what happened with Luna. Still not necessarily too sure what the motives there were. I mean, I don't think you can really know for a fact. But I mean, who knows? At the end of the day, it's moved well so far, and seems like people are wanting to put their money into it, which that's all that matters, is that it holds value in the minds of people. At the end of the day, we're seeing a nice ABCD move right here. If it follows this harmonic price structure I've been giving out right here with respect to these yellow triangles, these symmetrical triangles, each of these red lines are the exact same line. I just cloned them and put them over here. So you can see we could possibly move up. This would be one of the ones that would move quicker. It could actually stair step its way up until like the end of 2023, something similar to like that, and be pretty bullish throughout the entire time. But outside of that, again, I haven't entertained as high as like I think $150, because I think technically it could go there if it lines up, again, like I said, time-based accurately enough with Bitcoin. But right now, this one is, like I said, it's kind of ambiguous. Who really knows? But I think it could possibly be a good thing. And the indicators down here are looking quite well as too. We're seeing some nice double bottom formations down here as well, for the momentum being converging upon zero for the MACD. Bollinger Bands tightening up. So that's good to see there, and also lining up nicely along this VPR as well. That was about all that I really wanted to touch on and go over in today's video. Quickly for Bitcoin, again, nothing really has changed. We are still getting some nice bullish momentum towards the upside here on this 2-day chart, and just hopefully we will be able to sustain that and not fall back through 19,000. But yeah, that was about all that I wanted to go over. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully you're able to learn something, and I hope you all have a blessed day.